Joe, Joe, you're muted. There you
Hey
go.
everyone, welcome to day 16. Uh, yeah, great start for the recording. Day 16 of Math 133. Um, for those of you who are in the evening class, scheduled for BCI 2, um, I had accidentally put Monday's recorded session in the wrong spot. I put it in Wednesdays. So hopefully you were able to find it. If not, it's been moved, so now it's there. I did it right for the morning class. So anyway, so it's here if you want to see Monday's session. Once we're done with tonight, I'll drop Wednesdays right here in the right spot. So okay, so today, we're going to start a candy project. So there's actually two projects to do here, and everything's going to be in Canvas today. Canvas as well as the candy that you've collected. So, um, all right. So, uh, we're not going to be in the course pack today. Um, by the way, make sure you do the 9.4 lecture notes, okay? And that's going to be the end of the chapter 9 lecture notes. And then next time we'll work on the chapter 9 project. And then after that, we'll do the chapter 9 review, okay? So for tonight's project for the candy, you're gonna need M&Ms as well as Skittles. And we sent some information in Remind about that. Um, you're going to be able to eat your candy after this, after we do some counting. But for that counting, make sure that you know where to get that data, those counts, because we're going to use those counts for the Chapter 9 project, which is on Monday, the Chapter 10 project, which is the following Monday, and the Chapter 11 project. Okay, so make sure you have those. Um, Okay, great. So here in Canvas, we're gonna just click right here. So the first project is super easy. We're just gonna get some info and take some pictures. Okay. So you're gonna come here, and then you're gonna click this link, and this is gonna take you to a Google document with the instructions of what you need to do. So we are going to do File, make a copy. Okay. And I'm just going to put Hopkins. Okay. Um, and I'm going to put this uh, here in my, you can put it in my drive. Wherever you want to put it is fine. But wherever you put it, like I said before, make sure it's a place that you'll know how to get to it. Okay. If you need to go into Google Docs or Google Drive to find it, usually we'll put it at the top because it's one of your most recent opened items. Okay. All right. So most of this we've already talked about. So you need something that's large enough. Okay. So don't get the fun size one. We talked about that. Um, so what we're going to do is we are going to organize our uh, M&Ms and Skittles by color. Okay, so we'll do the M&Ms first, and then we're going to take a picture of it, um, and we're gonna put it here. Okay, so we also for the other part of the project. So I'm gonna come back over to Canvas. I'm gonna open the second link. Okay. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing with that one as well. Okay. So the first part, we're just taking some pictures. The second part, we're actually collecting our data. So this one, the data and graphs, if you click on that and do the same thing, file, make a copy, put it in the right spot so you can find it.
And where did you
Okay.
find this paper?
This one is the other one in Canvas. So there's two projects that we're doing today. All all I wanted to show you is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be counting the number of M&Ms and we're going to be putting them into this graph. Okay.
I couldn't type in that when I
Cool.
saved it.
What's that?
I couldn't type in that when I saved it.
Did you save a copy?
I did.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, maybe I'll try it again.
Yeah. Try saving a copy again. Okay, so this is why we need to sort them by color. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna jump back over to my first project. So actually no, I'm not gonna jump to the project. I'm gonna jump here. We're gonna dump out some Skittles. So there we go. Or some M&Ms. Oh, my M&Ms here. So I have 6 ounces. I got plenty. 6 ounces of peanut butter M&Ms. That's my favorite. But they're a little bit bigger, which means they're a little bit heavier. So I needed to make sure that I had enough of each color. So yeah, so we're gonna sort them by color. Just a little therapeutic bit here, and then we're going to count them and put them in that table. Put our data in there. Okay. So easy class today, right? Now, if you're colorblind, hopefully you have either someone there that can help you or they're different enough that you can tell what's green, what's red. Green and red are the usual problem when it comes to color blindness. I gotta pick a spot for my blues over here. All right. All right. So once you've got your M&Ms sorted out, so mine are a little more spread out than I'd like, but that's okay. Uh, you're going to take a picture of that, okay? And you're going to put it into your Google Sheet, okay? So for me, I'm going to use my snipping tool because I have it on the screen. You'll probably need to take it with your phone or uh, with your webcam, maybe. Okay. So however you want to do it, we need to get that picture right here. Okay. There we go. Obviously you don't want it cut off. I cut off my blues somehow. Whoops. So don't do that. I'm gonna mark myself off points. 5.3 ounce peanut M&Ms did not have a single brown. Is that an issue? Um, I don't know. Uh, so we'll say no right now. So go ahead and just count them out. Um, that is the kind of the purpose behind this is we're taking a look at, how random these samples are. It's an outlier. Yep, exactly. And that's the kind of thing that can happen in statistics. You know, in the real world, um, the three parts that we've talked about for the central limit theorem, where it's got to be random, it's got to be independent, and it's got to be normal, right? Your sample size got to be big enough. Um, Usually the independent part is easy. Sample size being big enough, that usually costs resources, it costs money, costs people, but you can, as long as you're aware of it, you're good. The random part is actually usually the hardest part. Okay. So yeah, somehow you didn't get enough random ones, but I didn't know they're brown M&Ms. There you go. So bought the mini Skittles and and my totals were, oh man. No, your numbers, Caitlin, are not going to be a mess. It's just that you're going to have a lot of counting to do. Sorry. But a bigger sample size, Caitlin's probably going to have the most accurate uh counts of or accurate statistics of the game of everybody. So almost said double the amount of purple skills. Yeah. So how do I get a phone pic on this page? What you can do is you can take a picture and then you could email it to yourself. Or you could open the Google Sheet in your phone. Uh, so you can open from Canvas, you can open this Google document that you have saved. Not the original one, not the one from Canvas, the one that you've actually the copy that you've made. So wherever you've stored that. So for me, I stored that in the my Math 133 folder in Google Drive. And then you could open that up on your phone and then paste the picture there. Uh, yeah, so if you email it to yourself, you can download it onto your computer, and then once it's on your computer, you can just insert it. So, okay, so now that I've got that, I'm gonna go over to the other one, and I'm gonna do my counts. So, looks like I've got 14 orange. Okay, blue. I got 14 blue. Good job, me. Green's a bit more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 22. Okay. Yeah, that'll work, Brandy. Okay, yellow. I have 13. No, I have 12. Uh-oh. Um, Red. So the easiest way that I find for counting is to split them up into fives, and let's just count by fives, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 23. Wow, that's green and red are the big ones. Ah, yes, Caitlin is pointing out that if you have Apple products, you can AirDrop um, to your computer. Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 17 brown. Okay. All right. So total Desmos. So Alyssa, that's a good question. So I'm doing a 6 ounce bag here. Although mine are peanut M&Ms versus regular M&Ms. I would use all of them. Um, and let your kids dive into them later. If you do have to cut down on the number, it needs to remember that we need our sample to be random. So you need to make sure that you're randomly dumping them. Now, it's you're probably not going to bias anything by just dumping out half of it, right? That's pretty random. Okay. Um, but we always have to think about when we are sampling something, like could there be biases that we are introducing inadvertently? Okay. So just like if I was um, checking, if I was doing a sample to see, who was going to win the presidential election, if I just sampled the people in my area might be very Republican or very Democratic. And so I've introduced a bias there. And so my sample is not going to be accurate. Okay. So if you could argue that the red ones are heavier than the green ones, then okay, by just dumping out half of them, there's going to be bias because the heavier ones are going to fall out faster. Okay. I don't think that's the case for M&Ms. I think you're good if you just grab a handful. That's pretty random. Okay. Um, okay, so I am adding up my numbers here for my total. Like I said, pretty easy day today. I have 14 plus 14 plus 22 plus 12 plus 23 plus 17. Okay. I've got 102. Okay. Now, my numbers are pretty okay. Um, the one that jumps out at me is the low one, which is 12. Okay. You'll remember that N times P times Q needs to be bigger than 10, okay, in order for the central limit theorem for proportions to apply, okay? So if you have a number that is 10, you're in trouble, okay? Um, does that mean that you're going to fail this project? No, it doesn't. It means that a lot of your answers are going to switch from yes, it's normal. I've got a big enough sample size to, oh no, it's not. So if that's the case, you could dump out a second bag, or if just go with the numbers you have. Okay. Yeah, if you have zero browns, I'm not sure what's going on with the brown issue. Some people have already also pointed out that they had zero browns. So just put zero in there. And if you have 9 greens, just put that in there, Ashley. If you have more M&Ms available, then you can dump those out. If you only had one brown, that's fine. So, yep, just put whatever numbers you got in there, and we'll work with it. Okay. Okay. Lowest samples I have is 231s. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, go ahead and just put the numbers that you got into the table. Okay. Um, and we'll work with those numbers and we'll be fine. Okay. You'll notice though, like that uh this sample that we took of M&Ms, uh, we took the sample and we were hoping like, okay, we need to make sure that we have at least 10 of each color or more, right? And some people were like, oh no, I don't have enough, right? That happens in the real world too, like where we talk about like you need to make sure you get a big enough sample size. So if you hire people to take a survey, or you send out a survey to people, like you know how you get like satisfaction surveys from places that you've shopped, and nobody fills those out, right? Or they don't fill it out very often. And so people might be expecting, okay, well, we have like 1,000 customers each year, so I'm sure that we're going to get enough people that answer our survey to actually, do something with those to improve our business. And that's not always the case. Um, People don't fill out those surveys, and so you end up suddenly not having enough samples. Okay. Only 6 red and 10 brown on 2 bags. Yep, you're fine. Just put in what you've got. I only have 27 in total. So 27 in total is probably not okay. Um, so you'll remember that for the proportion, the central limit theorem for means, we need to have at least 30. Okay. We're not doing means here, we're doing proportions, but um, uh, yeah, I would recommend making sure that you have at least 30. We had said the other day that if you buy a 1.5 ounce bag of regular M&Ms, you'll get around 56. So if you bought a regular size bag, that's already going to be pretty low. So we said you need to have at least 2 or 3 ounces of the regular M&Ms. So peanut and peanut butter, or like pretzel or whatever, those are going to be a little heavier. So anyway, at any rate, go ahead and you know put in the numbers that you've got, and so we'll work with it, okay? Okay, so I've got my numbers for my M&Ms. So that means I can jump back over to here. All right, so all we're really doing here is putting in our pictures, right? So uh submit, use Candy to submit data. Yeah. So so I need a Skittles picture. I need my Skittles data. And then we'll be done. We can actually eat them. So oh yeah, Josh, that sounds great. Those numbers sound great. you know, I was mentioning that like having a big enough sample size is sometimes a problem. Uh, I had that issue at my previous job where we were doing uh, looking at sales figures and advertising. And we were trying to show that our advertising was working, right? And so we had numbers that showed that people who, looked at our advertisement were more likely to purchase, right? Which was great. And then I was asked, what's the uh, confidence interval? What's the statistical significance of these numbers? And I did the calculation. It turned out that since um, sales so like advertisements have such a low p value, just such a low probability that we didn't have enough samples to actually prove that we this thing was actually working. So yeah, so our numbers were wrong. So uh or at least, you know, couldn't really attribute our results to those numbers. Basically, when you make an advertisement, do you expect that 10% of people who see that advertisement are going to purchase? No way, right? How many commercials do you see a day versus how many things do you buy each day, right? Like, you see 10 furniture commercials. There's no way that, you watch 10 furniture commercials and then you go buy a piece of furniture every time you see 10 furniture commercials, right? I watch the news every morning and there's same commercial comes on every day. I don't go out and buy a new piece of furniture every week. Um, so yeah, the p value for uh the probability that an advertisement works is less than 1%. It's less than 0.5%. It's tiny. Okay. So if your p value is so small, like if you take your n times your p times your q, you need thousands of samples in order to just get 10 purchases, right? So, we unfortunately had to scrap the project, or at least, you know, change the way that we were looking at it. So, all right.
Joe, do you have kids waiting to eat this rainbow?
I do not, but I,
Oh,
but I,
okay.
but I'm sure as soon as I tell everybody, hey, I got some Skittles, like, so the M&Ms, people will be like, oh yeah, that's cool. M&Ms, I like M&Ms, but the Skittles, man, oh, these are gonna be gone. Um, okay, so uh how many ounces did I buy of this? So I bought 6 ounces of each. You'll notice I have a lot more Skittles, and that's because I bought the peanut butter M&Ms. So 6 ounces, those are gonna come out a lot lower. So um Mike's actively trying to grab them. All right, we're gonna count fast. Fresh. So oh no, I need a picture first. Oh no. Both of these are all for me. Nice, nice. Okay, so those were my M&Ms. Oh wow, I put my greens in the exact same spot. I was like, wait, that's the same picture? No, it's not. It's not the same picture. Wow. Yeah, unintentional bias there. Yeah. I put my reds on the right hand side and my greens on the left hand side. I guess I did switch my orange and yellow, whatever. Uh oh, did I cut off my purple again? No, I didn't. Okay. Almost did. That's fine. I can see that count. Okay, so once I've got my uh, pictures, I can submit this part of the project. So I will share this. So click on the share button in the upper right. Change my restricted to anyone with a link. Copy my link, and we can go to Canvas. So here in Canvas, it's the first one, the info and pictures. Okay. And we will upload. Yep, Oh no, sorry, not upload. Web URL. I clicked the wrong thing. Web URL, because we're pasting that link in there. Next. Next, submit assignment. I am clicking the wrong things. I am sorry, everybody. All right, web URL, paste your web URL, submit assignment. There's my confetti. That's what I was looking for. I was like, where's my confetti? All right. Yeah, you can include the packages. Yeah, I think you're supposed to include the packages, but if you didn't, that's totally fine. Hate Skittles though. Caitlin's gonna eat them even though she does not like Skittles. Okay. Uh yeah, if you forgot, so I forgot to put the package in there. I'm not worried about it. Um okay. All right. So jumping back over here, I need my counts for these. So I got 5, 10, 15, 19. Wow, green. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 38.
You got any blacks?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36 for yellow.
Right.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 36 again. Does this even count as a Skittle? He's tiny. Uh, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 43. Okay. There we go. It's 172. So I want that. Strawberry, yeah, I mean, strawberry is the best for sure. I'm actually mad that they brought lime back. Like I liked the Sour X. That was because lime and lemon to me are both very similar. Like I didn't need both lime and lemon. Um, all right, so we have two things left to do, and we can submit this assignment and call it a night. Okay. So we're gonna be done early, even and so give you plenty of time to burn off your sugar rush for bed. So all right, create a bar chart of your M&M data in StatCrunch that displays each color with its value above the shown above the bar. You must type the M&M chart above without the total into StatCrunch. Select bar. Okay, graph. Summary, be sure to select display value above bar, paste the value bar chart here. Do not adjust the graph size, leave it large. All right. Can do. So, just go to statcrunch.com, sign in or register. So, signing in. Yeah, you can eat your candy now. Got our counts. Counts was the main thing. So, okay. So, from here, you can click Open StatCrunch or you can click on My Data. So I'm going to click on Open StatCrunch, the big orange button at the top. And I'm putting in my numbers here. So you have to type them in. Or if you're fancy like me, you can just, there we go. Copy and pasted those. Made sure I didn't get the total. 102 is not in there. 14, 14, 20. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now that I've got that, now that I've typed all those numbers in, okay, we're going to go to graph, bar plot with summary. Do you need to label the colors? Yeah, I do need to label the colors. Good call. Good call. Let's see. All right, let's do it like this. There we go. You don't have to label them. So I'm going to. So, all right. Graph, bar plot with data. All right. Select my columns. I've got color, count. So, I don't know if you need the colors. Access labels. Yeah. I think we're only going to be able to do count, which is fine. So I guess I didn't need my colors here. Might compute.
I thought
Oh,
we were
I
supposed to
missed.
go to with summary, not with data.
Yeah, you're right. I was wondering why I was wrong. There we go. Bar plot with summary. There we go. Categories are my color. Counts are my counts. There we go. Or you might have it as var1, var2. I also need my value above the bar checked. All right, so that's better. So I do need my colors in here. And yes, thank you. We want to go to graph bar plot with summary. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, now if I hit compute, how is that going to look? All right, that looks better. And we'll leave it large so we can see everything. So here's my frequencies or my counts. Either way is fine. If a frequency is a count, okay? That's what a frequency is, okay? It's always a whole number. Frequencies are whole numbers, right? Relative frequencies, those are percents, those are decimals, okay? All right. And I'm going to use my snipping tool, okay? And I'll grab a picture of this. Okay. Oh, no, that's not where I want it. I want it here. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. If you don't want to use the snipping tool, you can do options, download it. Okay. And then that'll download it as a picture onto your computer. And then you can Copy that into Google Sheets. You can also do copy. So if you do that though, if you do options, copy, then you have to right click and hit copy image. Okay. But that'll also get it onto your clipboard so that you can paste it here in the Google Sheet. Okay. Awesome. All right. Create a pie chart of your Skittles data that displays each color with its count. You must type the Skittles chart above without the total in the StatCrunch. Select graph, pie chart with summary. I'm going to remember not to click with data. And paste the pie chart here, leave it large. Okay, so I'm going to come up here. I'm going to copy this. We're here in the StatCrunch. Nope, that didn't work. That's what I thought. Yeah, still didn't work. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So once you've typed it in, you can type in orange and so on. Once you've typed those in, go to graph, pie chart with summary. The categories are my color. Oh, I shouldn't have called these both color. Oh man, that's terrible. Counts are my number, and there we go. Okay. Just make sure you got a purple. So that way I know I've got the right color. Yeah, I should have called this a different name. That's okay. Oh, except it made my purple wedge green, and then this one's yellow, this one's red. That's horrible.
I agree.
So, so StatCrunch is going to have to split these up some way, and so the way that it's doing it is it's doing it by color. If I was doing this in Excel, or in Google Sheets, I would have absolutely taken this and changed it. So this one's purple, this one's orange, this one's green. Otherwise, you've got a crazy Stroop effect going on. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Stroop effect. The Stroop effect is a situation where if I ask you what color this is right here, read that. If I ask you what color this pie wedge is, you would say, "Oh, that pie wedge is green." Well, no, it's not. It's blue. So it takes it messes with your brain. There's actually a card game called Stroop. It's a lot of fun. It's by the same company that publishes my game. Okay, so all right, so I'm just gonna leave these colors as is, despite the horrendous labeling. I'll put it right here. There we go. Okay. Okay, and that's it. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna change my restriction to anyone with the link. Copy the link. Okay. I'm gonna go back over here to Canvas. Make sure you're on the data and graphs one. Okay. Have URL. No, I do want the percents. So just take another screenshot. And then hit submit assignment. If you can't do a screenshot, that's okay. You can come over here to, so here I've got my beautiful pie chart, right? So here I am in StatCrunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Options, Copy, okay? And then I'm going to, if you're on a Mac, you're going to hold the Command button down and click. You should be able to copy the image, okay? So once you have that image copied, you're going to come over here to your Google Sheet, and you're going to hit Command V, and that's going to give you, that's going to paste it in there for you, okay? How do you display the number above the bar? So coming back over here, there was an option that we needed. So if I go to Graph, Bar Plot with Summary, there's a check box right here for value above bar. So we'll click that. So this one is color and count, okay? So if we wanted our colors to actually not suck, we could have used this instead for our pie chart. So that's the bar chart right there. But what I was trying to say is pie chart with summary. So categories, color, number. So if I hadn't done the 7 basic colors, if I'd done a red to blue scale maybe, or grayscale is probably better. So it looks horrible, but at least like this purple is, and this one's red, like, okay. But now it's not a rainbow, right? Skittles is all about the rainbow. So that chart's boring. All right, any other questions before we call it a night? So by the way, as I said, you want to make sure that you've saved this somewhere that you can get to it. So if you go to your Google Drive, so if you go to click on this little arrow next to My Drive or wherever you've saved it, I saved mine in this one, Matt 133 Summer 2025, and here it is. Candy Project Data and Graphs Hopkins, this one Info and Pix Hopkins. You also, if you just click on recent, it should be right there at the top. Here's the 2 that I was working on. Here's the 2 that I opened that were from Alana that we opened just a bit ago that we made copies of, right? So there you go. Because we're going to need those numbers. We're going to need those numbers here for 3 more projects, okay? But if you submit it in Canvas, though, we're done, okay? This was fun. Yeah. So, yeah, candy's always fun, right? So, this kind of stuff, like, sorry, all the classes can't be this fun, but, we got to learn some math. But all right, well, everyone have a good weekend. See you tomorrow in Cindy's class. If it is under my recents, is it saved? So the nice thing about Google Docs and Google Sheets and all those things is there isn't a save button. Whatever you do, it automatically saves. So if I come in here and I accidentally like add some stuff here and then I close this, it's going to have those changes already there. Okay. So that's good and bad, right? Like there's probably times where you made a mistake and you're like, oh, I'm going to close this and then come back and open the saved version. No, it saves every little thing you do. So, okay. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
I'll see you on Monday, Joe.
See you Monday. Bye.